Can I ask you this? What will you be willing to spend to be free from NEPA hassle, as in totally gone? You have 247 electricity. Will you be willing to spend up to 200,000 naira? If yes is your answer, then you need to watch this video to the end, because I will explain how you can get that. So this video is for somebody who is looking for an affordable way to get 24/7 electricity. I'm going to be reading from my notes, so you might be seeing me look down. One mistake I found out from talking to people and reading online is that a lot of people ask questions like this: how much will it cost me to get a 5 kVA inverter in my house that will take care of totally of everything that I need in my house, my AC, my electric kettle, my microwave and everything? Is it possible to run your whole house on inverter? Yes. Is it cheap? No. So this is what I advise people who can afford it. For those people that can afford it, maybe in their house they're consuming, they require 10,000 watts in their house and they need 10,000 watts inverter in their house or office. If they can afford it, all well and good. It's going to be in millions, but for this video is for those people who can't afford that but still want to enjoy 24/7 electricity. This is how I would advise you to start. First, look at what you miss when you don't have electricity. Think about it in order of priority. What are the things that I miss? So I'm going to be doing this for myself. You can also do it for yourself. Take a pen, list out what you miss. For me, the number one thing that I miss when I don't have electricity is, first, my AC and my fan. I live in Nigeria where the weather is almost throughout the year is hot, so I need my fan or my AC. So what I miss first is my fan. The second thing is power to charge my laptop and my phone. I need that. The third is my light bulbs. I need my light bulbs to be on, especially in the night. And the fourth is TV. I need the TV to be on. The fifth is my fridge and freezer. The sixth is my microwave, blenders, and iron and other things in the house. And from that, other things comes after. What do I need to do and what do you need to do? First is look at that and pick the things that you know you cannot do without. Things that you know you really need to be running 24/7. So for me, my first four things are the things that I need to be running 24/7. Number one is I need my fan to be running. If I have fan and I don't have AC, I can do with that. Second thing is I need my laptop or a phone to be charged. Third is I need the lighting points in the house, the bulbs to come on. And the fourth is I need the TV to be on for my kids. After I've listed these four things that I need, other things like my fridge and freezer, because of where I stay, I get at least 10-12 hours of electricity, so I'm fine. If my fridge doesn't run for 10 hours, I think I'm still good. But for you, if you are living in a place maybe where you get 2 to 3 hours and you need your fridge to be running, then you might need to go for a higher inverter, not the one that I'll be recommending to you. So let's start. A little bit of arithmetic here. We are not going to go details into physics and calculating energy and doing the ampere and voltage and all those things and watts. That is for the technicians. They will do an accurate. If you need this, you can consult any technician, a solar technician or inverter technician. They would be able to recommend. They will do a proper calculation for you and recommend what you need for your house. But we're just going to do simple arithmetic here. So the first thing is, for me, what I need in my house is I need my fan. On the average, most fans range their wattage, their consumption ranges between 40 watts and 150 watts. If you're using those ones like those ones in churches and public places, the big fans, those ones that make noise, they're about 150 watts. If you're using like the smaller ones, the fans like the rechargeable ones, they are between 40 and 60 watts. So let's just say that you have a fan. Like in my house, I have a 50 watts fan, 3 of it. So let's say you have 3 50 watts fan, and that is going to be a 150 watt. Note it down, 150. Second is I need my laptop to be on. Most laptops consume about 50 to 100 watts. So let's say an average 75 watts, and you have 2 laptops in your house. So 275 watts, that's 150. Note it down, 150. The third thing is lighting points. If you are using the incandescent bulb in your house, like those 100 watts bulb, that bulb consumes a lot, so I will advise you switch it out to LED bulbs. LED bulbs consume between 5 to 10 watts, like the normal one, the normal sizes. So I would say get, maybe you can even use like 20 LED bulbs in your house. 20 LED bulbs is just 100 watts. Instead of using 1 incandescent, you can use 20 LED, so 100 watts. Note it down. The next is TV. Most TV ranges between 50 watts and 120 on the average. If you're using like 32 inches, their wattage is about 50 watts. If you're using 55 inches LED TV, the range is about, it's about 120 watts. So let's say you're using 100 watts TV and you have 2 in your house, that's 200. So the total that I have here is 600 watts. Now, if you have consuming 600 watts and your essential items, essential electronics in your house is just 600 watts that you need, why would you buy a 3500 watts inverter? I would rather advise you that you should go for a 1000 watts inverter, 12 volts. 1000 watts inverter would take care of your 600 watts essential. Remember, this is not all the items in your house. These are just the essential things that you need. If you want to add fridge to it, then a 1000 watts inverter might not be the best for you. You might have to go to maybe 1500 or 1800 or 2000. But what the calculation we're doing here is for 1000 watts inverter, because on the average we realize that, okay, the essential things in the house that most of us use in a 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom is about 600 watts, let's say 700 watts. So a 1000 watts inverter would be good. That is it for the inverter. So you're getting a 1000 watts inverter. The next thing is your battery, because in an inverter, power inverter system, all the 2 items there are just inverter and batteries. So you've gotten your inverter 1000 watts. A 1000 watts inverter uses a 12 volt battery. Most batteries are 12 volts, but what we we call AH in battery. So it's the capacity of the battery, that is how big it is. So you have batteries that are like 5 AH, the ones that you find in rechargeable lamps, the ones that you find in rechargeable fans. They're about 5 AH amps per hour battery, and it ranges from that to about 200 amps per hour battery. There are some batteries that are higher than 200, but for example, let's just say you are getting a 200 amps per hour AH battery. That is what you're going to use for your 1000 watts. So a 1000 watts inverter, a 200 AH battery. For me, I use that in my house, and if that battery is fully charged with the little consumptions that I have in my house, I'm going to the battery can run for about 8 hours. sometimes between, let's say between 6 and 8 hours. So if I have power and my battery is fully charged, I have 6 to 8 hours electricity that I'm running. So 6 to 8 hours and I'm good. But what if 6 to 8 hours is not enough for you, and let's say there's no NEPA lights to charge your battery, so you need more? Then that is where solar comes in. What does solar do? Remember, your inverter system is just your inverter and your battery. Now when you need to add when you need more electricity, or you need more, your battery needs to charge more, you need solar. In a solar inverter, you have the panel, the solar charge controller, the inverter, and the battery. Remember I said in power inverter, that is the inverter that you charge with electricity from NEPA, is just the inverter and the battery. But in solar now, if you're going to be using solar to charge it, you need to go further to have two more other things, which is the solar panel and the solar charge controller. So 4 basic things. So in these 4 basic things, what does the solar panel does? The solar panel takes sunlight from the from sun and converts it to electricity and sends it to the battery, but it goes first through the solar charge controller. Solar charge controller acts like the brain for the solar panel. It's like, let's just say the solar panel doesn't have its own brains to think that, okay, this is when to charge, this is when to stop charging. So what solar charge controller does is that when solar is sending electricity to the battery, the solar charge controller controls it and says, okay, the battery needs electricity to charge. Now it sends electricity to it. When the battery is fully charged, the solar charge controller say, okay, the battery is charged, stop. It's just like your phones. When your phone is charging, there's something that tells the phone that, okay, you're at 100% now, your phone is fully charged, stop. The same way solar charge controller tells the battery that it's charged fully 100%, so stop. Because solar panel would not know when to stop. It will just continue to, as long as there's sunlight, it will continue to send in electricity. And that's what solar charge controller does. So in everything now, these 4 things that you need for your solar charge controller, if you're using a 1000 watts inverter, a 200 Ah battery, a solar panel, so I would advise you can get maybe 3 or 4 solar panels and solar charge controller, maybe a PMW 50 amp solar charge controller. The total cost of this thing can range between 300 and maybe 370 or 380,000 naira, and that's your budget. So you might be asking, but you said 200,000 naira would get me 24/7 electricity. Yes, it's possible, but not this package, not this battery. So instead of using a 200 Ah battery, you can actually downsize to 100 Ah battery. 100 Ah battery will give you about half the time that 200 Ah battery will give you. So with 100 Ah battery, instead of buying maybe 4 solar panels, you can cut down to maybe 2 and buy maybe a 1000 watt modified sine wave inverter. And with that, with a budget of 200,000 naira, you can actually buy that, and that will solve your electricity problem. So with that, you can put all your critical needs. So for a 100 Ah battery, you might not be able to plug in all your devices, like put in 2 TVs, 20 bulbs and everything. The best thing for it to last, for the battery to last longer, remember the battery is not as big as the 200 Ah. This is 100, it's half the capacity. So you need to reduce your things to half. So you won't be using 3 fans, 20 bulbs, and all the things. You might just be using maybe 3 bulbs, 4 bulbs, one 32-inch TV, 1 fan, and a few other things. Alright guys, so I believe that you've learned something. If you have more questions, please comment and I can explain further. Thank you very much.